Guys, I want all of you here to understand definitions, not by heart them. There is a simple and easy way to always remember definitions. Don't ever by heart. Sir, how do we do this? Simple. Ask questions. Okay. Get answers. Join them. Definition done. A definition in itself should be complete. That is the first and last rule of definition. When somebody says this is defining, once something is defined, there should not be scope for the reader to ask one more question. Sir, then what should we do? There are only 6 questions in English language, starting with what, ending with how. I think I have told you this technique, but I will tell once again. What, when, where, why, who, how. Only 6 questions in English. How just cannot generally be explained in a definition. What is auditing? We can tell in this 4. How to auditing? Full book is there on that only. How is generally a process. We will not be able to fit it into a definition. So, by nature one question gets dropped. How to do audit cannot be told in the definition of audit. What is audit can be told there. Okay. What? When? Timing can be very important. Where? Place can be important. Who? Person can be important. Right? Why? Cause is more important. If you generally try to find answers to these 5 questions, I think much of our problems are sorted. So rather than telling you by heart this definition or what is it, I will tell you how the definition came in the first place. Okay? How that definition has come in the first place. I want all of you to concentrate on the very first question that we are going to ask. Generally, what is the first question? So we are talking about auditing, right? Let us ask the question of what? What is auditing? Auditing is nothing but a examination. What is auditing, guys? Auditing is a examination. Now, if I tell you that I wrote the exam and I corrected, are you valuing? No matter how honest I am, you are not buying that argument. Correct or not? Why? Because you somehow feel that partiality could be involved. You somehow feel that this fellow might have not been honest. You somehow feel something for it where you believe that this entire exercise is compromised from day one. So I don't want that compromise to come any close to this discussion. So that is why I am introducing one of the most important words of this whole subject, which we will die for. Even in the last day when we are giving audit report, the heading of the audit report is called Independent Auditor's Report. Okay. So one of the most important qualities what is audit? Simple. Audit is a independent examination. We are not talking about examination alone. What is audit? Audit is a independent examination. Now if I put a full stop there, whenever I told you, if a definition you put a full stop in between, it should not let you ask one more question. But if I put the full stop there, audit is an independent examination of what? Who? Where? When? So many more questions are pending. So that will not be there. Audit is an independent examination. Okay. Second question. Of what? Now that's where the interesting question comes in, right? Audit is an independent examination of what, guys? Independent examination of financial. Come on, everybody. What do you think it is? Is everybody clear that audit is an independent examination? Everybody. Are you clear up till there? At least audit is an independent examination. Is everybody clear? Very good. Audit is an independent examination of what? Of financial statements. Okay. Now, sometime back you told me what are financial statements. Can you tell me again? Hello, everybody. No harm in telling again and again the same thing. It's not such a bad exercise also. Come on, tell me. What normally it is? Audit is an independent examination of, you told financial statement. Tell me what are those? Balance sheet, P&L, cash flow, notes to accounts, statements, and change of equity. 5. Correct? That too if it's a company. But otherwise, please tell me. Balance sheet, P&L, cash flow, notes. I saw all these 4 documents. Can I finish the audit? Then based on your sentence, that only. What is an independent examination of financial statements, you told? The reason why I do this every time is because I never want anybody in my class to do that mistake again. Remember, why I write financial statements and remove it is for you to understand that financial statements are a very limited word which talks only about those 4 documents. Now, by seeing just those 4 documents, how will you be able to tell? So, should you be seeing contracts, agreements, other documents, vouchers, 100 other things are there. When all these come together, including financial statements, the word financial information will be more broader. Guys, are you following what we're talking about? Now, when you said financial statements, was it very restrictive in nature or not? Because you restricted only to 4 documents. But the moment you said financial information, what does it contain? The word financial information contains what? Books. Books means which books? Books of accounts. Books, papers, anything supporting, vouchers, documents, okay, contracts, financial statements, etc. Bring in anything. Everything will come under the branch of financial information. We'll put a full stop here. Tell me if it is complete. Audit an independent examination of financial. Hey, everybody, first of all, why it is not financial statements and financial information? Is everybody clear about it? Good. Tell me what are the first 2 parts of the sentence. Audit is a examination of what? Very good. But I don't think the definition is complete there. Because whose financial information? What are you talking about? Right? Let's ask that question right now. What question? Financial information of who? Tell me of who. Who can it be? Let's say of. Can we say of a company? Can we say of a company? Can we say of a trust? Society? Rather than calling it sole proprietor, partnership, trust, society, company, etc., we'll call it an entity. Let it be any entity, yes or no? Guys, small entity or large entity? Profit making or not profit making? Any again? Non-profit making also? Profit or loss is a? Listen carefully, very good. That's why I told you. Profit or loss is an outcome. It has got nothing to do with whether you are supposed to audit or not. Why? Non-profit organizations are there which are doing some noble charitable activity. Are they spending their money towards their objects or not? Can we conduct an audit like that or not? So, with a little glorification to this word entity, I'm going to add up what sort of an entity. Audit is an independent examination of financial information of an entity. Which sort of an entity? Whether profit making or not. What is it? Whether profit making or not. Irrespective of its size. I don't want to bother about whether it is small company, medium company, large company, MSMED, micro, under that I don't care anything. It's an entity. Job done. What sort of an entity, guys? Tell me the qualifications of that, qualities of that entity. Whether, guys, come on, whether profit making or not, irrespective of size, or in fact, irrespective of the size or legal form also. I'm not bothering whether it's a company or trust or society. I don't care. In whichever legal form does it exist. Can we still do the audit of it or not? Clear? Can we put a full stop now? You say full stop and see whether it is complete. Otherwise, we will add something. Audit is an independent examination of whom? Of a what sort of an entity? Irrespective of its size or legal. Done? Then the only question that looks pending here is why? Why do you do this? Because no matter what you talk about it, you will not be able to give it a fitting answer unless you decide why do you do this. When also is a secondary story only. Whether you do it monthly, quarterly, that again a statute can describe. Timelines, statute can describe. How, process, institute will describe. But why? What is the logic of doing all this? This independent, so-called independent examination, why are you doing it? I don't even want to use, like I said, I was going on using the word fantastic. I will still stick to that only. But tell me something. Why do you do this exercise? When such an examination, why are you conducting such an examination, ma? When such an examination is conducted to express an opinion thereon. Express an opinion thereon. So what is the most important objective of the audit there? Expressing opinion. By end of the day, when you do all this work, it has to fructify. It has to convert into some logic. Where is the answer coming into? In this. That's all. Join these four over. What is audit? Of what? Financial statements or financial information? Whose financial information? What kind of an entity? Irrespective of size. So you are eliminating three things there. Profit making, non-profit making, small, medium, large, legal form. Eliminate irrespective of all this. Then the only question that gets pending is why? When such an examination is conducted, why? To express. Guys, understood or not? Come on. Collectively. Okay? Everybody together. All four parts of the sentence. You can cue along with me. Don't need to shout something random in the air. Huh? Like I said, we carry a lot of this later also. So staying. Let's go by the queuing in words only. What is audit, guys? Come on, one last time. I want everybody to be fully confident on this. Don't of the financial information. Be clear on that. Audit is an independent examination of whom? What sort of an entity? Irrespective of when such an examination is conducted to. Fantastic. Are we clear on this? This is how you coin definitions. You don't by heart them. Understood? So there's a lot more to learn about what to do in audit, which is obviously because of this word there, auditing. It is an activity, and what is that activity? That we have to learn in the due course of time. Understood? So now see how easy it will be just to go and mark things. Audit is a independent examination of what? You make sure you write it when you get it. Financial information means what? Does financial statements form part of that? Yes. But beyond all that, we also have all of those, right? Books. Yeah, books, papers, vouchers, contracts. All of those. Of whom? Of a entity. What sort of an entity? Irrespective of size or legal form. Why are you doing this whole exercise? And let us continue reading what they're talking about, because I believe I finished my explanations to what that is. Independence. What we got in 1947, no? Something like that only, but this is a little more deeper. Independence here, ma, tell me, should I have independence in mind or should it be also in appearance? Remember, always independence is split in two aspects, which I will discuss obviously in the next chapter in full detail. Independence in mind and independence in appearance. Both should be there. Independence here implies that your judgment should be of your own. Why you gave this judgment? Because they told, sir. That means if you are giving something because somebody told, you are subordinate to the wish or will of that person. Is that true or not? Hello? Everybody? If you are giving an opinion, if you are giving what? Like I'll come back to that example. Father and son. The son who is an auditor gave an opinion because his father told. Out of respect. Which he generally doesn't have. Sorry. My bad. So, that fellow, his father told, hey, whatever it is, good or bad, we are a family. So, shut your mouth and say financial statements are true and fair. For the first time I am using these two words, true and fair. Why? Because I taught you right now the word expressing an opinion. So, end of the day, this is what they want us to express. That whether the financial statements are true and fair. I will get into the detail of that wording, but Guys, everybody concentrate. So father told the son, no matter how many frauds are there in our business, end of the day, this is the money that comes home. And in fact, with this money only we became chartered accountant. So donkey, be loyal to me and tell financial statement are true and fair. The son started doing drama. No. If I knew that you were doing like this, I wouldn't have become this only. Right? Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, scene is happening there. But things are very clear. What did institute say? No matter who it is, it doesn't bring in the question of relationship. Auditor has to be independent. He says, I can't give the opinion. Father says, you can't come home. Then he says, take the opinion. Job done. Which means this time he gave an opinion out of free will, or we were forced to give that opinion? Lack of independence. You were not able to stand on your own. Independence and ability to express an opinion of not being subordinate to the wish or will of the others. What did I just say? Not being subordinate. Hey, come on, you should have checked this in Contract Act. Remember coercion, undue influence? Stuff like that. Remember that or not? You are subordinate to the wish or will. Sir, why did you accept that contract? Because gun was there on my head. Not me, you also would have accepted. No sir, you should not accept. Bullet will go inside, mad fellow. Understood? Coercion, undue influence. Using what is called as deception, cheating to make what is called a fraud. Fraud is an act of using deception, cheating others. In all these cases, you are not on your own. Independence here implies. So if somebody says the auditor's opinion is independent, what does it mean? That, underline it is, or basically this is a key word, they're not subordinate to the wish or will of anybody. That you gave an opinion on your own. The auditor should be independent of the entity whose financial statements are subject to the audit. Thereby he can form an opinion without being affected by any influence. That is why I am not supposed to do the audit of my father's entity. Or, sir, my mother only is a CEO there. She told me that's all, mother's love. Then I had to sign wrong financial statements. Right? My brother and I, we grew up together. He started a company, I became chartered accountant. Then later I, that is why no place. No place in the books for audits like that. Because, sir, we both are independent. No matter how independent. Like I said, the first example can hold good. Father only is suggesting the son, Arey, whatever it is at home. But here we both should behave like professionals. Correct? You and your son agreed. World? So independence in mind alone is not enough. Independence increases the auditor's ability to act objectively. Objectively means unbiased. Don't worry. All these words, like I said, you will forget hemoglobin. You will find IOI in your blood if you are a true auditor. You won't find all that. Simply I am telling, don't cut tension. That drama issue. But anyway, I was just trying to emphasize the importance of IOI. Integrity, objectivity and independence are three ingrained aspects. If anybody asks you what are the qualities of auditor, why anybody will ask you, or chapter only will ask later. First three are that only, IOI. And I will keep reminding you this so many times. Why I will keep reminding you? You will only answer me this. That IOI is the answer to so many questions that I am going to ask you in future. Because if you lack integrity, objectivity and independence, are the three fundamental basic requirements of audit, you are not doing audit only. And a little more clarity, saying that as I just told you guys, NGOs, do they have vision, mission, objectives? Hello? NGOs or entities are not meant for making profits. Can they make profits? Hey, entities which are non-profit organization, can they make profit? Don't say no, they are not for profit, but if profit comes out, because they also can't handle profit or loss are. For the 100th time, when you prepare P&L, you see profit. No, I am an NGO, I don't want, we will not tell. It came, but what is that you are supposed to do? Reapply. It's very clear in the law also. You know MOA? Hello? You know MOA or not? You know objects clause in that? Hello guys, come on, objects clause. The objects of an NGO are stated. If you make profits, you have to reapply those profits onto these objects. That's all. But That doesn't have to do anything with the audit. Are you understanding the important point here? Clarity is there. Entity whose financials or information is being examined is not necessarily, okay, it is not necessary that it is a profit oriented. It can be a non-profit organization. That's your first possibility of a true or false. In fact, others are there, but one of the most commonly asked, already so many times asked in exam. I don't know what obsession people have with profit sometimes, that despite knowing the whole story, doing a full 50-mark subject of strategic management, knowing that profit is just an outcome for business, and taking that and carrying forward here, still I have seen some idiots go and write wrong answers to this. Very clear in bold letters, it is there, irrespective of. Okay, so don't get carried away. Audit has got nothing to do with what? Profit. So can we do audits for NGOs, charitable trusts and everything? Yes, audit can be undertaken in respect of which one? That is why what are we taking? Irrespective of its size or legal form. Guys, both did you understand or not? And what is the ultimate point that we have to take home from this entire discussion? Why are you doing the whole audit? What is the objective? The ultimate objective of doing audit is to express an opinion. Guys, those people who prepare financial statements, those people who prepare financial statements, should they be different from those people who audit it? I wrote exam, can I only correct it? I can correct it. Who told you? What is that you are telling? No. I wrote exam, can't I correct it? All I need is red pen, I can correct it. Okay, but is there a problem? What problem? I don't care about the outside world. I am bothered about I wrote an exam. Can I correct it or not? Right. For correcting I need two things. A key and a red pen. Both I have. I will correct. And I am telling no. End of the day that I want to improve after that exam. I am not bothered about whole world. So please tell me, if I do cheating in correction, who is at loss? So then why will I do it? I want to become better for my next exam. But now tell me, if this score has to be submitted somewhere, and you believe that if you submit higher score, you will get better valuation, better medal, better certificate, something like that. Is there a scope you can manipulate? I'm not telling, no sir, still, whatever it is, I'm very honest. If I get 7 out of 10, I will submit my score as 7 out of 10. I will not modify that as 9 out of 10. Good, you're honest. No sir, I want medal, that is more important. 9 out of 10 I will submit. You are leaving the first principle of being honest. Sir, H, not only H, the entire word honest is silent. We can sometimes believe like that, no? You know, H is silent. H is silent where? In my name also. Some people call me Harish. Sounds the same, right? They believe H is silent. No, same thing. If you use also, it will be ha. Otherwise, anything, whatever, your phonetics are not important. So here this fellow said, why sir, all these phonetics, genetics and all, word only we will silence it off. Integrity, very difficult to pronounce, so forget it. Nice concept. Objectivity, very tough word, sir. Independent, no sir, from childhood I am dependent. How can suddenly I become independent? Good. Takes time. That is why I told you, you cannot teach anybody integrity, objectivity, independence. It's an inculcated aspect. Right? Somebody took something and injected into the blood. No, it came naturally, it formed like that. They have to come. It talks about a lot. It doesn't come just by you becoming, today we started the subject, so you will become, somebody with IOI. No. It is in your upbringing. It is in people who you surround by. Because I told you, daily if you see something wrong, 10 years later you will believe that is right. Because from 10 years I am seeing something like that. So if I see or surround myself with corrupt individuals who do corruption with no guilt about it, it takes no time for you to be corrupt and justify that also. No problem. I am seeing so many people who are corrupt like that. I can also be like that. You will take it. I told you, what is that word that I tell you some time back? Rationalization. Remember this, we'll have very interesting discussions on this, because this word rationalization becomes a very important challenge for an auditor later. It's easy to catch those people who are afraid, because in those sense of being afraid, they'll do some mistake. But somebody who has rationalized their mind is a perfect professional in doing fraud. Very dangerous. Because these guys who do frauds, I am not telling, later you will see in book, they have carefully designed schemes to hide them, not just to do it. And they will be and appear very much in and around you only. So that profession of audit becomes very, very questionable after a particular point of time. Sir, what am I doing? That is why this line is very important. Always remember, No matter how many times I ask you about fraud or this or that, end of the day your answer about why are you doing audit is what? Expressing an opinion. So tell me guys, our ultimate objective is to express an opinion and catch hold of fraudsters. In this process, if you can catch hold of a fraudster, it is okay. But your sole idea is not to take a torch and go around finding frauds. Remember this. No matter how many times I ask you, your answer around this should not change. It will not change. It is printed in the next page also. Topic 4 says, what are the objectives of audit? The ultimate objective of the audit is to report. How? That too after obtaining reasonable assurance. We'll discuss that in detail. It has a little weightage in that sentence. But all I am saying is that your job is to express an opinion. So tell me guys, can we split responsibilities here? Whose responsibility is to prepare these financial statements? Is it the entity? Don't say company. Like I said, use a word, simple. When we talk about company, specifically say company. Otherwise, whose duty it is? It is the duty of the entity. Entity is a real person? No. Entity is an artificial person. That artificial person is represented by a set of people. Very good. What are those people called? Management. So loud and clear, that one point says what? The responsibility of preparing financial statement lies with? I will ask you 1,000 times, literally, by the time we finish this syllabus, because every standard, every place, every chapter, by the time we finish auditing syllabus, you would have answered this to me literally 1,000 times. That is, whose duty is to prepare financial statements? Whose duty is to do the audit? Audit. An auditor should be independent. Preparation and presentation of financial statements of an entity, underline the responsibility of the management of the entity. It is there on the very first page of our book, and it will come till the last class of what we do. Independence, right? Since it is very clear that two people here are supposed to be not dependent on each other, you have to know who the two people are. Management and auditor. Whose duty is to prepare and present financial statements? The auditor expresses an opinion. Are you clear about these two? Because I will not repeat them. I will make you repeat them 1,000 times, and I am not joking about this. Because every time when we encounter a particular juncture where this becomes important, your answer will be these. What is our duty as an auditor? Our responsibility as an auditor is to? Not to take torch and go find fraudsters. Not to go and divulge into the duty of doing an investigation. CBI will do investigation. Auditor will not do. Police will do investigation. Auditor will not do. What will auditor do? Independent examination.